Welcome to BBB Sharing. I'm Nicole Pratt, and I'm here with Mr. Willy Wise with Main Street Benefits. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
So, Mr. Willy, I would like to switch it up a little bit, and I want to know, first of all, what sets your business aside from other businesses?
One of the things we have done at Main Street Benefits is to get into the details of each benefit plan. And by doing so, we can find out what that particular employer needs to do, what their goals are, and how they can achieve those goals. It's like anything else, you've got to have the information to make a recommendation. So the more information we have, the better we can come up with an idea on which direction to go.
And what kind of benefits are there for businesses that you have to offer, and who do you work with on that?
Well, the benefits we offer, of course, the number one thing with any employer is health insurance. Now, we do take care of other, what we call ancillary products. Ancillary products are those non-health benefits. So that would be dental, vision, long-term disability, short-term disability, group life plans. When we start going through the process, we've got to get down to, okay, if we're going to do these health insurance recommendations, we've got to do a spreadsheet. So one of the things we really focus on is we take like benefits. So when I say that, we take apples and apples. So for instance, if you've got a $2,000 deductible plan with Anthem, we're going to show a $2,000 deductible plan with United Healthcare and Aetna and Centera. And there's another player out there that not many people know about called the Bon Secours Value Network. So what we try and do is show like benefits so you can make an evaluation. It's a misnomer for us to go in and show a plan with Aetna at $5,000 deductible and then an Anthem plan at a $2,000 deductible. So what we're trying to do is to show a comparison that are similar to what you're looking for.
I think that's an amazing asset, because you want to know similar. You don't want to know the off ball, right? You don't want to know, oh, well, these guys will give me 2,000, but these guys will only give me 500. You want the same so that you can get the right benefits for the right employers, correct?
Correct.
And what does your normal average day with a business look like?
Well, when I go and talk to an employer and I go in and talk to them about what they're trying to do, first of all, ask really about their business and how they operate. So tell me about your business. And I try to go into that detail of what are the functions of your business and do you have different classes of employees? So when we start looking at benefits for them, we have an idea. And that idea, of course, expands on the type of benefit plan. So as an example, you might have some workers that are blue collar workers. Now, they might want a higher deductible plan to get a lower rate, but then upper management wants another plan. So instead of offering one plan, a lot of people don't know this, we offer multiple plans. And the health insurance carriers, they'll offer two plans for certain size groups. And if you're a larger employer, they'll even offer as many as three plans. So what we try and do is, let's look at all the employees that you have. Let's make it suitable for every category or class of employees. So it's important that what we do is, again, making sure we have the right benefit plan for the right group. And it's really important when you start talking about cost.
And what does that look like for whether it be, small companies all the way up to the larger companies with all of those? I did hear that you give a lot of options for that as well, for the larger or the smaller companies as well.
Correct. So, and there's a lot of misinformation out there about larger companies. Now, if it's I call it a multi-company of several locations and it's 500 plus workers, they may have a little bit of a benefit in rates. But really, when you get down to it, what the health insurance carrier does, they will put a grouping of a particular type of industry, and they put that together and they come up with some rates. Now, that's in general. When you start looking at how the rates occur, what happens is there's a census. So you have a census that you send to the health insurance carrier. They get the census, they look at it, and in that census will be the name, zip code, and date of birth. They have a way of going in and finding out what medications employees are on, and they can come up with an issue of, well, this is a healthy group or it's a non-healthy group. And used to be, you may recall, employees would fill out health insurance applications. And we got away from that, thank goodness. A lot of people wouldn't turn those back in. And I'm waiting for the census and all the information to get to me. But now we simply have what I call the abbreviated census. And the health insurance carrier does the homework and they come back with the rates. It's gotten much easier for us and for the employer because of the new system we have. And that's been going on for a number of years. But in regards to where we are and where we're going, I think it's a great situation now. We've got a lot of great, what I call synergy in the market with the new changes.
And what does your partnership look like? Who do you work with, and do you all work together, or do you each have a certain role that you play in the field? What does that look like?
Well, me and my partner came together. I've known Chris, his name's Chris Nagel, and I've known him for a number of years. He's been in the business 30 years. I've been in the business 25 years, and we have a great team. We have 3 client managers who do a super job. One of our client managers actually worked for Aetna, and she worked for United Healthcare. We have a real good foundation on what's going on in the health insurance field, just through what she's learned over the years. And of course, Chris and I have been in business for a number of years. So in regards to our experience, it's been a wonderful situation as a team.
That's pretty, that's a half a life, some people's lifetimes is, 25, 30 years. So not mine necessarily. However, it's someone's. So going forward, is there a certain story that you would be able to tell me? I'm gonna make it a little bit more personal, with a certain business that you had an aha moment in your personal life, in business world, where you may have had to rewrite a couple of things in business.
I can't think of anything at this juncture. I will tell you that it has been a learning curve in health insurance over the past 25 years. You'll learn something about maybe a personal experience, as you mentioned, where something wasn't covered. And you take that information and you relay it to your groups, your clients. Well, I understand this because it happened to me or it happened to a friend of mine. And I had a recent experience where something like that occurred. So yes, we apply it all the time. And our job is to have that information available when something does come up with an employer and that employee.
That's pretty amazing. I do know, the personable part of it happened to me, so it could happen in other places as well. Where do you see yourself and your business in, let's say, 5 years from now?
I see that, our company's growing, and I really see the changes in the health insurance industry, hopefully for the better. A lot of people don't know about some of the new legislation that's come up out there. Back in the day, I say back in the day, it wasn't that long ago, it was what they call a surprise issue with a lot of people. It used to be anesthesiologists in hospitals were out of network. That's changed. They put them in the network now. And there's some other things that can happen with hospitals that are considered out of network. I won't go into too much detail, but there's some things happening right now legislatively that's changing the industry.
So that being said, moving forward and looking at your overall goal, what would you tell a business that they should know before doing even research when they are looking at getting all of these benefits?
Great question. Having been a business owner with my dad for 20 plus years, a big part of your budget is health insurance. Now, I'm just upfront about it. And what a lot of employers don't know is that the health insurance carriers require that each group contribute 50% towards the health insurance premium. So the employer pays 50%, the employee pays 50%. And of course, if you're really wanting to do more for your employees, you could pay 70% or 80%. We see a lot of the norm being about 75%, but there are a lot of employers that only pay 50% of what they call the employee only rate. It does not include the dependents. One thing that's been critical in the last few years, everybody knows this, but the health insurance rates have grown way outside of the consumer price index of 3%, which I say approximately 3%. So health insurance rates are going up on a trend basis. Right now, we've seen 12% increases on trend without any huge claims. That's really been a problem for a lot of employers. So we're trying to really evaluate that. One thing is, this is no secret, 5% of the workers account for 50% of all the healthcare costs. So that unfortunately drives up rates. And what the health insurance carriers are doing is trying to be proactive, getting the employees to do preventive measures. As you know, your preventive care, your screenings, your visit to the doctor on a preventive visit is at no charge. So what we're trying to do is, hey, employees, please go do that because it keeps costs down. So in regards to the future of healthcare, I see the future of healthcare changing a lot, and it's got to. We can't keep going up at 12% per year, and it makes my job pretty uncomfortable when I've got to go out and tell them for it's going up 12%, and it's a hard meeting to have. So we're trying to, as much as possible, also encourage them to do what they're supposed to do. One thing that's changed recently with COVID, we went to Teledoc. A lot of people forget it. Teledoc can help a lot. So if you got Teledoc going and your employees are calling in about certain issues, it's a wonderful thing to get that done, and it can keep costs down.
I believe that we have that here, and it is a great service. So thank you so much. So where can consumers find you?
If you will Google Main Street benefits, and all the information is there. I'm on the website. My partner Chris is. We've got all of our client managers there, and love to talk to you. If we can help, please let us know.
Absolutely. And if you like this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. All of Mr. Willy Wise and his business information will be at the bottom of this screen. And we look forward to many more of accreditation to come and many more health insurance for businesses, because it's pretty important in the times today.
Hiring and retention is important to employers. If we can help, let us know.
Absolutely.